no greater love.
Thanks for tuning in again. We know it's been a couple of weeks since we put the last video out there, and the last thing we did was talk about Nehemiah 2. But I want to do for a moment is take a break. In our church right now, Faith Baptist Fellowship Church, we've been doing a mini-series, a 5-part mini-series on love, sex, and relationships. And what I want to do is I want to catch you up on that one because it's the most current. And basically, I'm going to sum up part 1 and part 2 for you. And what we started to do was define what real love was. Let me ask you a question. How many of us have been in love? Right? How many of the times we've said the words I love you to someone, whether we meant it or not, and we kind of say it when we feel this bubbly feeling inside of us when someone does something for us? That's kind of common. Sometimes we say it to people who've been with us through thick and thin, those who deserve it. In fact, I remember once hearing someone say, I don't use that word a whole lot because it's not a word that should be taken lightly, and when I give it to a person, I'm going to say it to them because they deserved it. You know, what's interesting about that is Scripture tells us that true love, real love, is unconditional. That's right. A person doesn't have to work for you to love them. In fact, when Jesus is talking in the upper room discourse in Matthew chapter 5, what he discusses is how we should handle our relationships. And at the end of chapter 5, he says we should love those who love us or love our neighbors and pray for those who persecute us. His idea was we shouldn't treat those people badly when they treat us badly. In fact, what we should do is love them in spite of that. Paul picks up this same theme in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. A lot of people who've been in church for a while think that's a passage talking about marriage, or they want to use it for when they get married. But in fact, Paul is talking about everyday relationships. And what he's talking about with relationships into your giftings and your talents, he says your love should serve other people. When he mentions that love is patient and kind, he says it's not retaliating. Your love isn't going to retaliate against somebody. It's going to love people even when they do you wrong. So here's what I want to ask you. When you say the words I love you, when you say you love someone, is it conditional? Do you only love them because they've treated you right, or they've been there for you, or they've done something for you? Or can you even say, hey, I love people even when they don't love me, even when they treat me bad? If they never love me, I'll love them. And let me tell you where this stems from. This stems from the greatest act of love that anybody has ever seen. And that's when God gave his only son for us to die. In fact, as Christ was dying for us, it was that very love, that very obedience to the Father's love that kept him on the cross. Let me ask you this. What keeps you loving people? In fact, some of us have stopped. Some of us have given up loving people. But what can keep us loving people is understanding that it's not our own love, but it's the Father's love in us. That if we've truly experienced it, then we can be like Jesus when he taught at the end of Matthew, or Paul when he teaches in Corinthians, saying that we can love others even when they don't love us because we can serve them in spite of how they act. Hey, once again, we thank you for tuning in. Like I said, this is what we're doing right now at Faith Baptist Fellowship Church. And next week, we're actually going to be talking about the relationships between dating and husband and wives. And we hope that you come back. God bless.